Hey guys, welcome to another Jurassic World Live video. As you can see from the title, today we're gonna go over some of these zones and talk about scents. So, if you guys do have scents, either the free scents that you guys get from the scent strike towers, or if you have the spare cash to buy scents, which, in my opinion, if you do have spare cash, you should be spending them on either coins or scents. And coins, you should probably only buy them during coin deals, because you get more coins during the the deals. So yeah, let's talk about scents and when to use them, where to use them, and yeah, just going through these zones and just the senses, the general uses, and obviously the best zone is the zone that you need dinos from the most. But if you don't really have a goal, and we could just go over some of these zones and talk about which ones are better in general, not specific to each one's case. Obviously, you should go to wherever you need your dinos, but okay, let's start off with talking about common sense. So, looking at the common dinos, there is a quite drastic disparity between daytime and nighttime commons. Nighttime commons, the local commons are all quite bad, except for maybe local 4 Suchomimus. And global, a Padu is okay during the day, but at night you do get Velociraptor and Tarbosaurus, so there's that. But then the daytime locals, you have better, a local daytime common spawns. So the better commons will be during the daytime, since nighttime you could go to any local and you could still get Velociraptor and Tarbosaurus. So the best one, in my opinion, is local 1, because it has just for the sole reason that it has Dinokairos, and because Dinokairos is such a important ingredient for one of the strongest dinos and most important dinos in the end game, which is Dinokairos. That's why I'd put local 1 first, and then second I would say daytime local 4 Parasaurolophus. That makes 2 really strong hybrids, and Suchomimus obviously makes Suctator, which is very strong, rare. And then I'd say probably local 4 Eupocephalus does make Amargacephalus, which makes Triodistis, and also has Dracorex Gen 2. And then number 4 here for the daytime spawns is local 3. It has Allosaurus, which is great, and it hybrids into Allosaurus, which then turns into Thorodolosaur, really strong dino. But that's probably the only common going for it in local 3 during the daytime. So yeah, those are the daytime ones. And then last we'll put Parks here, and Park has some really good spawns, like Dilophosaurus Gen 2, Stegosaurus, Pro Gen 2, Lythronax. But the problem with Parks is there's way too many commons, and it heavily dilutes the common spawn pool. So if you are using scents, the purpose of using scents is to find locals to target down specific dinos, and it's really hard to target down any of these common dinos in Parks, since there are just too many of them. So moving on to some night spawns, I guess. Number 4 I'd say is local 4, because Suchomimus, all of these are really mediocre to be honest, but local 4 does have Suchomimus, which makes Suctator, which is decent. And you remember, you saw Velociraptor and Tarbo through all of these. And then the next one I'd say is Park, just because, despite how diluted this is, it's 4 commons plus globals, you still have a okay-ish chance to get Stegosaurus, and, at least you have a chance of getting Stegosaurus. Like the other locals, you don't even have a chance of getting anything else but, local 1 Majunga, local 2 Aenea, and then local 3 Diplo. So yeah, I'd say Park is right after local 4, but these are kind of interchangeable. And By the way, all these common, like the daytime common zone and the nighttime zones, are kind of all interchangeable, except maybe for daytime local 1 is probably a bit better. Since, the commons, they're not, I mean, I wouldn't say one local has some really overpowered commons in comparison to the others. All the locals have really decent commons. So moving on to the next nighttime zone, I'd say probably local 2, just because Ionosaurus can hybrid into Ionosuchus, which is a decent dino, and then also further hybrids into Sarcoryxes, which is also it's okay. and then I'd say local 3, just because we could have Diplotator with Diplocalus, and then the worst place to use common sense is probably nighttime local 1, just because it only has Majungasaurus and the globals, which isn't that great. So moving on to rares, I did talk about rares briefly in one of my other videos when I was using a rare scent in a local 2 during the daytime. So you guys probably know this, but if you don't, I'm just gonna go over these real quick. So for so the best place to use a rare scent is daytime local 2, just because it has Tenonto and Dracorex, both really good endgame unique hybrid components. Also, Early Gen 2 is not a bad standalone rare, and if it does get a hybrid, it's going to be really strong. Well, it very likely will be very strong. And then Gorgosaurus, it's not that great, but it does have a hybrid. Then the next local I'd say is daytime local 1. Dilophosaurus obviously is really good, and that is really what makes local 1. And remember, it still has Dinochirus here. So it's a really good local to run through with a rare scent during the daytime. And Dimetrodon and Megalosaurus are also decent rare hybrid components. So there's that. And then moving on to number 3, I'd say is nighttime local 2. It's not any of the daytime local 3 and 4s, but nighttime local 2, since rares are quite different from commons in how they spawn. So nighttime local 2 doesn't have Tenonto, but still has Dracorex and Gorgosaurus. Dracorex obviously is still a really decent dino to have, so that's why it's at number 3. And then I'd say number 4 would be local 4 nighttime, not daytime, because daytime it only adds Carno and Colosuchus Gen 2, which aren't that great. And at nighttime you do have Spinosaurus, which you can make Spinosuchus, which is really strong dino. Also Draft Titan, which makes Node Pet Titan not that great of a tank, but it's still hybrid material. And Wurosaurus is a decent standalone rare. And then moving on, we could have local 3 daytime. Local 3 daytime has Postosuchus plus Django. Django makes 2 unique hybrids, although both the unique hybrids are kind of weak, but they're still unique hybrids, and it does make 2. And also Postosuchus makes Postometron, really good epic hybrid, which then makes Tristronix, which is also really strong. So local 3 is not bad during the daytime. And then moving on, we could go to local 1 nighttime. Local 1 nighttime, not that great. Like from local 3 day to local 4 night, there's like a huge drop off in value of using Sense. Local 1 nighttime, Dimetrodon, Megalosuchus, Delta. Delta is a really good raptor. These 2 are occasion materials. We already went through that. And then I'd say it's nighttime local 3. It still has Django. Echo's not great. Edmonto's not great. And then would probably be daytime local 4. It still has Spino and Draft Titan. No, it doesn't have Draft Titan. It still has Spino, but adds Carno and Colosuchus Gen 2 to dilute your Spinosaurus spawns, which kind of suck. And then we have your daytime Parks, which has Triceratops, I guess, which is okay-ish. I mean, actually no, it's a decent material, but it's just not that great compared to the other ones. And if you are using a rare scent in Parks, you are also you do also have a chance of getting Quetzal, and the commons that you're getting during when you're running a rare scent in the Parks aren't that great. So there's that, and then nighttime Parks are the worst, because all you have is Quetzal, which is pretty horrible. And by the way, if you guys don't know, the rare sense and common sense epic sense They have increased spawn rates for only the standalones. Like if you run a rare send, the spawn rates for rare hybrids are still really low. And same for epic sends. Epic hybrid spawn rates are super low, so don't expect to see them too often. Okay. Last group, the epic sense. So the best place to use epic sense, I would say, still is a local 1 during the day. You have both Kentro and Sino. That's a 66% of getting one of these. Well, not 66% like per spawn, but per local epic spawn. So it's a decent percentage to get a good epic here. These are all really great. Triceratops, we all know how great that is. Kentro is a very important ingredient for Trigosaurus, the best dino in the game. And then I'd say the next place would be local 4, although this one is kind of debatable. Either local 4 or the next one on the list, which is or daytime local 4 and daytime local 3. Daytime local 4 obviously has Anki. Raja isn't that great. Cola isn't that great, but you do have a 33% chance to get Anki, which is, I would argue, a bit more important than Erlico and Monolophosaurus, although those two are super strong as well. So you could really change these two. Just go to depending what you need on your team at the moment. So, and then as I said, next one would be local 3 with Erlico and Monolophosaurus. Obviously, Erlodon super strong. Both monohybrids really good. Spawn Gen 2 is not bad either. You could use it for strike towers, which is really that's a plus, I guess. And then I would say is a nighttime local 1, just because Sinoceratops is just so valuable in the meta right now. Although we did have a lot of Sinoceratops events, so do keep that in mind when going through these. Unless you started after those events, then Sinoceratops is, well, regardless, Sinoceratops is a really good epic to go for. And then I would say it's local 2 nighttime, because you do have a 50% chance of getting Tyrannosaurus, which is really good. And then moving on is probably local 3 nighttime, Monolophosaurus, a decent epic. And then I would say daytime local 2, you have a 33% chance of getting Tyrannosaurus, I guess. And also a chance of getting Pyroraptor, which isn't that great at the moment. The hybrid, of course. So it just makes daytime local 2 not that great, which makes nighttime local 2 better than daytime local 2. And moving on to the last of our locals is local 4. Nighttime local 4, all you have is Rajasaurus and Kulosuchus. Very disappointing. I wouldn't suggest anyone run Epic Sense at night in local 4, which, also remember you can only get Baryonyx for the global epics as well. So that's another yikes there. Okay. And parks, obviously, daytime is a bit better because, no, daytime's not a bit better. Well, it depends. Daytime, nighttime, they're all, probably as good as each other, since Darwin doesn't have a hybrid, but it is a decent dino for strike events if you guys don't have that great dinos. But if you're past the point of using of needing dinos to cheese strike events, nighttime parks are better, since you do have a chance to get a 50% chance to get Grapasuchus instead of a 33% chance in the day. So, yep, that's it. That's my recommendations for where to use your scent capsules, and obviously just the most obvious route is just go to wherever you need dinos. Like if you need say Dinocaris for your Dilocaris, go to local 1, and if you need Erlico more for your Erlodon, then go to local 3 over local 1, although Sino and Kentro are still really tempting. But it really just depends on your needs. But if you really don't know where to go, I guess you could kind of follow this. And yeah. hopefully you guys all get good spawns in your cents. Cents are still the way to go if you are going to spend cash on acquiring DNA. If you're not going for coins, the best investment for your hard cash is these cents, and these are the places that you should go to, I guess, to use cents. But anyways, that's it for this video. You guys could tell me in the comments below which zones you think are better, because there's a lot of really close ones. For example, Local 4 nighttime and Park nighttime. These two are pretty close. I know there's a few other close ones like the Commons, like Local 3 and not Local 3, Local 2, Local 4. These are pretty close as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and also please consider subscribing if you're new. Like the video if you think this helped to any extent, and I'll see you guys in the next